Hi, I'm Amy Greason, and our Healing Seekers team is here in Madagascar. This is a place that I've always wanted to come. One of the main reasons is this land holds the original source of the Rosy Periwinkle. And that's where we've gotten two of our most powerful chemo drugs. It's interesting because there are over 60% of the plants that have been cataloged here actually have healing properties. When you put it in perspective, 0.5% of all the world's flowering species has been discovered. So this is really still largely unexplored. Madagascar is located off the eastern coast of South Africa in the Indian Ocean and is designated by Conservation International as one of the hottest of biodiversity hotspots in the world. The term hotspot refers to regions with extraordinarily high levels of plants and animals that are only found in one specific part of the world and are threatened with serious habitat loss. Entities living in areas like this tropical rainforest must fight for light, for space, and for food. Unable to run away and faced with threats from microbes and insects and animals, many of these plants have developed bioactive substances, which are sort of creating a chemical warfare. One of the best examples is the Rosy Periwinkle. It, like so many of these plants, has got this incredible ability to secrete chemicals which will hurt or harm or often kill its enemies. The good thing for us is that these chemicals also impede certain forms of cancer, and specifically acute lymphocytic leukemia, childhood leukemia, and Hodgkin's disease. Biodiversity hotspots as a whole cover less than 2.3% of the Earth's surface, yet they are home to well over half of its plants and animal species. Well, Alman has just told us about this tree. The locals use the bark of the root to help with malaria. They scrape off the bark, put it in a pot of boiling water, and they make a tea, and they drink that every morning. Malaria is caused by mosquitoes. It's said that malaria is responsible for more deaths than all the world wars and famines combined. There are over 2,000 different species of geckos on Earth.
Big one.
With the exception of one species, geckos have no eyelids, but instead have a transparent membrane which they must lick to clean. Many species of geckos have a remarkable ability to drop their tails in defense, and then to regrow them. Scientists at Wake Forest Institute for Regenerative Medicine in North Carolina are working to engineer at least 22 different tissues and organs. What nature provides for in some organisms can once again be possible for others through the brilliance of science. It's so cool because we've just run across this mantilla frog, the one frog that I wanted to see when we came to Madagascar. We know that this frog has alkaloids in its skin, and many of our pharmaceutical drugs have been derived from alkaloids that have been found in nature. So yet another example of nature's infinite resources. We head into the fishing village of Nirvana. Much like the natives in the Amazon, the Malagasy people believe profoundly in the spirits living in special stones and trees. In every village, there is a sacred stone or a sacred tree. Sacred stone?
Yeah, a sacred stone.
And so is there always a cloth, and is it always white?
Most of the time they use a white cloth.
Of white, yeah.
And in some regions, sometimes it is red. And people goes to the sacred stone and they do some prayer. Sometimes they do sacrifice also, like zebu, but it depends on the ceremony.
Not Americans,
yeah.
Though, right?
That's local, yeah.
the belief in spirits, and in particular, the spirits of their ancestors, plays a prominent role in the day-to-day lives of the Malagasy people. As we enter back into the city, many parts of Tana, the capital city, remind me of other developing cities. It has two distinct and conflicting faces, the older farming culture and the new industrial growth. Surrounding Tana, the rice paddies push right up against the city limits, like a giant moat protecting or perhaps dividing the city from the lush landscapes we have just left behind. The city's alleyways wind tightly between buildings, barely fitting the vendors selling dried beans, sweets, and other dried provisions. And even here in the stark, logical cityscape, we find thriving practices of ancient medical traditions.
Amy Soud. Yeah, that's his name.
Soud has been actively practicing healing for over 22 years, but he has had the gift since he was 3 years old.
He lives here. Okay, come in.
We need to take off your...
Soud has treated all types of diseases.
So far, all kinds of diseases that he treated, they are fine.
He uses spirit, plants, as well as gold and silver in his treatments. He lays his hands on the sick people. The mermaid and the makeshift aquarium are reminders of his coastal origins and his connection to the ocean. He considers his ability to be a gift from his ancestors. There is such respect for his altars, which are symbols of the gift, that we must exit backwards so as not to close the door on or disrespect these sacred shrines. This is what they call a traditional healer, and we're going to see the number of people that are waiting to see her now, which I think there's a lot.
Okay, it's a little bit full, but you can have a look.
Our sound man Josh is not feeling well, and the healer offers to work with him.
This is the name of the tree, and then this is the disease that this can cure.
She has been a healer since she was 14 years old. She works with plants and a sacred silver spoon, a spoon that appeared in her Bible after the death of her mother, who was also a healer.
She said that she doesn't have problem with stomach, but she said he is tired. That's why she has that trouble. But she said there is this plant if you want to use it.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
But we need to get Josh's prescription filled. Our bodies are amazing. If we will just give them exactly what it needs, it's amazing what our bodies can do. And for some reason, we're so reliant on and so dependent upon pharmaceutical drugs and other things that we're not considering the power of our own bodies. We're giving all of that power away. And I think I like that so much about indigenous cultures and plants and medicines, is because it's all with that working together to help strengthen the body.